set up. And part of some of the things that are required in setting up this organization is something that we call SOP. SOP means Statement of Purpose. Amen. And that statement of purpose is like a guide for this environment where I work. And the statement of purpose actually describes what the company should do and what the company shouldn't do. Amen. So when you look at the statement of purpose for that company, you'll be able to tell from the statement of purpose who they are, what they are about, what they should be doing, and what they shouldn't be doing. Amen. And every single time the regulatory authorities, when they come into that environment, one of the things that they look at is they look at your statement of purpose. And they use that to say to you, this is what you said you will be doing. This is what you ought to be doing. Amen. So the statement of purpose is actually what we're judged by, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Amen. And I want to say to someone under the authority of my voice this morning, that each and every one of us, there is a purpose for your life. Amen. You see, many people go through life without a clear understanding of why they are created. And when you fall into that category where you're going through life without a clear purpose, without a clear direction, guess what happens? Struggle in life becomes inevitable. Any person that goes through life without a particular direction or without a particular purpose, like I said earlier, areas of struggle is inevitable. In fact, what will accompany such a life sometimes is even things like frustration. You see things like confusion. Why? Because the purpose for that life is not identified. Amen? I want to say this to each one of us this morning, that God created you for a specific assignment. There is a specific purpose that God had in mind when you were created. In fact, every born-again child of God is created to fulfill a particular purpose on earth. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Can you please just project that? And I'm going to read from the Amplified. Jeremiah chapter 1, from verse 5. It says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and approved of you as my chosen instrument. And before you were born, I consecrated you to myself as my own. I appointed you as a prophet to nations. Amen. There's a line in there. It says, approve of you as my chosen what? Instrument. Before I formed you in the womb. It did not say while you were being formed. It says before you were even formed at all. Before the thought of you to come about even occurred, I knew you. In other words, God looked at you before you were formed and said, this my son, this my daughter. I am creating this my son and my daughter for this particular purpose. Amen. Before I formed you in the womb. I want to say to you this morning that it is essential that you identify the purpose for which you are created. Amen. A lot of people say, well, I know I have a purpose. Amen. But few take time to truly uncover the purpose for which they were created. The fact that you know the reason why you are created, it requires also discipline for you to walk in it. Amen. When you look at someone like Samuel, we all know Samuel, the young boy in who was living with Eli. Samuel discovered his purpose at a very young age.